There's a lot more to this than meets the eye. It's something deeper than just putting in the miles and going home. It's bigger than just building fitness to perform well in the fall. A lot is riding on this final collegiate season, and it'll be over before I know it. I don't want to look up and think of what could have been. The word that keeps floating around in my head is potential. But it's not just about me either. It's not about selfish ambition and what I can get out of this final season. It's about my teammates and fighting for them each day. It's about being a leader and setting the standard for the boys back home in Mississippi. It's about the people that look up to me. And ultimately, it's about glorifying God every step of the way. This is way bigger than showing up and getting what's mine. There's a much deeper belief that's got to be trained over and over again. It's a growing fire from within. We build and rally together to set the standard for what's possible through belief in something bigger than individual gain. And I think for that reason, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. Last summer, I lived out in Boulder, Colorado, and interned for professional running team 10-Man Elite. I was able to learn a lot from that experience, and it was really a blessing to be able to come out here and do that. While I was interning for them and creating their social media content, I was also creating my own content and training like a madman. That summer of training was undeniably the best summer of training I'd ever had in my entire life, but the transition back to sea level, back to a lot of pavement, didn't treat my body well, and I ended up breaking, getting a stress fracture, and pretty much ended my whole cross-country season, impacted my indoor and outdoor season, and it was just kind of a rocky road all of last year. And then this year, I got a call from my friend Noah, and he said, "Hey, you want to come live in Boulder again?" And I thought about it for a little while, and I decided, I think it'd be a good opportunity to get back out there, train some more, except this time, whenever the summer training's over, transition slowly back to Mississippi, transition slowly back to all the pavement and everything. So I feel like that's where I made my biggest mistake last year. And of course, taking the risk to run super high mileage, and that always has inherent risk in it. But so this year I'm going to take it a lot more slowly whenever I reacclimate back to Mississippi, back to the humidity, back to all the paved roads. And I'm just going to let my body adjust naturally, drop the mileage a little bit lower whenever I transition back, and then slowly start building back up. So this summer I'm planning on building up mileage again. I'm planning on getting as strong as I possibly can, building up the aerobic fitness as much as possible, and seeing where it takes me, and setting myself up for a successful cross-country season in the fall, and hopefully a good position at the national championship in November. So there's kind of a lot riding on this season. It's the last season that I'm going to run. It's my last indoor and outdoor season as well. I don't want to take any of it for granted. I want to get out here, and I want to, the word that keeps floating around in my head, like I said, is potential. I want to reach my potential. I want to get to the point where my training is actually reflective of what I'm capable of on the track or on the course, and just get as good as I possibly can and reach my potential this season. It's going to take risk. It's going to take steady increases in mileage. It's going to take cautiousness. But at the end of the day, I don't want to walk away from this season feeling like I've left anything on the table. I just believe that I'm capable of more. And with that belief, I'm going to carry that throughout the season and throughout this whole training block, and try to stay healthy and try to get ready for a huge cross-country season, get ready for a big championship race in November. That's what I'm eyeing right now. I don't care about any of the races in August, September, maybe some in October, because that's where it starts to get a little bit more important, but the season doesn't really matter until November, and that's what I'm looking toward. So yeah, there's a lot riding on this season, and I'm just excited to get some good training in, get some good base miles, and see where the summer takes me. So I remember last year, right before I got injured, I felt like I had the physical component figured out, which to an extent I did. Training was going really well, and the races felt manageable. I remember logging one of my races in September and feeling like I was ready to have a breakthrough. Everything was more or less clicking, and the next step for me was to sharpen down my self-belief that I'd been building up for months. Unfortunately, with the injury and everything, I was never able to get to that final phase of self-belief, but now I see this light at the end of the tunnel. I know where I can go, I know where my mind can go, I know where physically I can go. And it's just kind of like this other belief that I can get back to where I was before. So throughout this whole process now, we don't rush it, we take our time, and we keep that belief at the forefront of what we're doing.
So I think today the plans go like 7 or 9 miles. We're just gonna kind of get out there, run pretty easy. It's kind of just an easy day. We had a workout a few days ago. Today's Thursday. Easy day yesterday, easy day today. And then we have a long run coming up on Sunday. But for now, we're just gonna get out here, run a few easy miles. 7 to 9 is what our goal is. So I think Noah's going 9. I think Isaac's going 7. And I don't know what the other guys are doing. Over to the iPhone. Thanks so much. Our pace just got 30 seconds per mile. Straight up the back of the pack. Just over 7 miles in. 7.3 miles. It's been a nice little run. $6:26. It was a nice run. How's the run? How's the last mile?
It was nice. It was smooth. Somebody got a little excited, but
That was just me.
I was just gonna.
I'm prepping for that long run on Saturday. Just getting a feel for your pace.
That was a good run. So that was a solid run. Ended up getting 8 miles at around 7:15 per mile. Last mile was like 6:25 just because we hit like this downhill stretch and it was all flat and I was like feeling good. Want to let the legs turn over a little bit. Plan now is to go back to the house, get a little bit of food, and then we're probably gonna go lift later this afternoon. For now, I guess we're gonna go back to the house, recover, shower, get all the essentials. Look at the doggo. Friend. Why?
Ramen? Dude, that's crazy.
I'm putting chicken with it, it's just my noodles.
This morning we're going with eggs, bacon, toast. It's kind of my go-to pretty much every morning after a run. I got that cheap bacon right there.
Yeah, he was smelling bacon for.
I was smelling it all throughout the run, and I don't know why. Maybe I was just thinking about it. But yeah, I got this whole pack of bacon. It's like 3 pounds for $9 or something. So I'll take it. Four slices of bacon, 3 pieces of toast.
Good soup?
Measuring drums.
We got the goods.
That's something that makes me crash like super hard.
There's like no crash in it.
Which a lot of other pre-workouts that I've had.
Full scoop.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Let's go hit the gym. I don't even know what kind of lift I'm gonna do today. Do you know what lift are you doing today? Any clue?
I'm gonna do another lacrosse one.
Very good way to do it.
Open my eyes,
Do I have a
slept
key?
through the
No.
day. Slept through the day, feeling uneasy, I push it away. Push it away. Last night was fun, don't feel like today. Feel like today, let's do it again, let's go on a date. Cause tonight I'm gonna take you out and live the dream that we've been talking about. So we can dine and spend up all our notes. Let's forget that we broke. I wanna celebrate and have some fun tonight. I wanna show you all the lavish things in life. So raise your toast for all the good times. Come on.
Solid lift.
Sir.
Sauna after.
Yeah. Took me out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
nothing, it was nothing really.
Good lift. Had the sauna after 20 minutes. I said 175. It's probably about accurate. 130? Yeah, it's about 130 degrees. So it's 175 in there. I think it's pretty accurate. It's so it was kind of warm. Got the job done. Feeling good. Feeling like I need to go get some food in my system.
I've never been a fan of quantitative goals. It's even harder when the sport of running revolves so heavily around how you stack up against others. It's cool to see the number on the clock, but I'd much rather just race the people around me and not worry about the numbers. Not a complete abandonment of splits and times, just a prioritization of actually racing. Metronomes don't end up winning championships, people who know how to race win championships. And that's why I throw around a word like potential, because that's a true qualitative long-term goal.
This is the best way to make coffee every morning, no doubt about it. I've been doing it since I was probably 14, just like this with a Chemex. Just do it every morning. It's kind of slower, but the coffee tastes better and it's cheaper. What do you got over there?
Got some oatmeal.
Oatmeal. What's your go-to pre-run?
Yep. Got some cranberries and walnuts in there.
Nice.
A little more.
Got the Cheerios this morning. Good for a pre-run meal. Got some carbs in it and about all you need.
My legs are sore. Doc made me do 8 pull-ups and I hurt.
And that makes your legs sore. Alrighty. Let's go run.
Pilates?
Pilates. So this morning, Isaac's going 4 miles. Noah's going like probably 8. I might split the difference. Alright, so just did 3 miles in 22 minutes. So out here is kind of cruising. It's about 7:20 days. Weather feels pretty nice. Sun's out. Tarps are still on. 5 miles, about 37 minutes. A little under. All right, so we're at 6.43. Gonna get to 7 and then call it a day. It's been a pretty nice run. Went on the creek path for most of it. A lot of like pavement, which is all we get to run on in Mississippi. So like, I gotta stay on some pavement this summer for sure. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Zooming inside. 7.08 miles. 51:53. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty solid. So now we have 3 by 12 second hill sprints. And so I had to jog over this hill to do them.
If you want to try out any of the supplements I use, such as electrolytes, G1M, Flight Pre-Workout, Reds and Greens, or the Go Gels, head over to bareperformancenutrition.com and use code BROCK to save 10% on your next order. This is also a really great way to support the channel and everything we're doing.
Sponge boingy bar. Pretty much every day we got toast, eggs, and bacon. You gotta get those calories in. Make sure we're on top of it. I'm about to teach Noah how to edit, and he's potentially going to help me make the greatest 30-day running vlog series
Don't put that pressure on
ever created
No.
on the YouTube platform.
Well, that may be true, but don't put that pressure on me.
I think it's going to be true.
Million subs, I had a dream about it.
He had a dream about that. We got 1 million subs in how long? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It took us 2 weeks, and we had 1 million.
2-week run ever.
Yeah, there's no one that's ever done it like us. Maybe. There it is. Sally McRae. Sally McRae, signed card. Legend. Yellow Go One More, exclusive hat. I don't know. Look, it has like the embroidery on the side too. We got the Mango Go Gels right here. Plan is to use these in the long run tomorrow, most likely. Should get the job done. Pretty nice hat. I'll wear it tomorrow. Good light colors for the summer. But yeah, I'm curious about this book. I don't know a whole lot about Sally's story, so it's gonna be interesting to kind of read a little bit about it. We got pasta tonight plus some ground beef. Noah said it's like homemade hamburger helper.
Don't get me toasted up like that.
Yeah. think there's really a lot that can be said in running about belief in your own abilities as well as belief in things that are bigger than yourself. And for a lot of people, including myself, belief is definitely one of those things that I've struggled with in the past. Like sometimes it's hard to believe in your own capabilities. It's hard to believe that the work that you're putting in is exactly what you need in order to be successful whenever the time comes. It's like no matter how fit you are, if you don't believe in your fitness, then it doesn't matter in the end. It's an overall belief in like what you think you're capable of, as well as looking towards kind of like inspiring other people and helping others with their journey. And that's it. It's bigger than you. It's a belief in yourself, but it's bigger than just you. On the way out to Colorado, I was listening to a book called Endure by Alex Hutchinson. There were a lot of different things in this book. Like some of the things it looked at were like, oh, if you do this sort of diet, you're going to have these types of results, and so this will increase your performance by X amount percent. The ultimate conclusion of this book is that high caliber elite athletes end up believing in their own capabilities more than their competitors. And so having this undying belief is ultimately what gives them the competitive edge to where they can push deeper and deeper and deeper, and they know that they're going to be able to achieve the results they're going after. And so after reading this book, I thought that was really interesting. And then I started thinking more about what separates the elite of the elite, like the top guys. In the book, it talks about Eliud Kipchoge and his sub-2 attempt, and how in the first attempt there were only 3 guys, and whenever those 3 guys got out there to race, they had seemingly identical vitals. All their health signs looked the exact same. They looked like the same type of athlete, but ultimately Kipchoge was the one that got the closest. He ran 2 hours and 35 seconds, and then he ended up finally breaking 2 like 2 years later. I started thinking, I was like, okay, what separates Kipchoge from these other athletes other than a belief in their own capabilities? I started thinking, and I was like, I think Kipchoge was believing in something that was bigger than himself. I think he was believing in the full advancement of humanity, the advancement of whatever the perceptions were of the human limitations. And because he was believing in something that was way bigger than him, he was trying to push the entire human race forward. Having that as a motivator was so much larger than just him being like, oh, I'm doing this for self-gain, I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing this so I can get better. It was like he believed, ultimately, he had this undying belief in his fitness, no doubt, but having that thing that he could look toward in the future where he was like, oh, what I'm actually doing here is going to be great for humanity. It's going to prove science wrong. It's going to prove what's possible. It's going to show that no human is limited. And I just thought that was super interesting, and I think that in a lot of ways we can walk away from that feeling like, okay, yeah, like I think belief in something bigger than ourselves is ultimately what carries us to new heights. That's what allows us to reach our potential. That's what allows breakthroughs. Whenever you start believing in something that's bigger than just you and what you can do and what you're there to get, it starts being about your team. It starts being about the advancement of the human limitations. It starts being about glorifying God, something that is larger than just you. It's not just about you anymore. It's about something bigger, and whenever you have that bigger picture in your mind, that allows you to go to deeper places than just selfish ambition. In my own experiences, whenever I think back to races that were really successful, it was always because I was fighting for something that was bigger than myself. Whenever I was able to dig to that super deep place in a race where I was like gutting it out all the way, it was because I was fighting for something that was bigger than myself. It was because I was trying to prove something to somebody, or I was trying to show what was possible. I was trying to break whatever limitations were set. Even if I think back to the conference championship 10K that I ran like 3 or 4 weeks ago, something about that race, whenever I made it to the last 4 or 5 laps, I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I have to fight through this. I have to fight for something that's bigger than myself. I have to fight and show others what's truly possible whenever you believe, and show others what it's like to execute a good race. And I had the motive that it wasn't just about me, it was about setting an example for others, and it was about setting an example for my team and showing people like, here's what you can do in a season, here's what you can do if you fight for it, here's what it looks like to fight for it and leave everything out there. And it's like it wasn't necessarily my best race, but it was like, if it was just about me, then I wouldn't have been able to dig anywhere close to that deep. So and then I think back to just other races. I think all the way back to high school, and the first time I ran, I went from like a 4:28 in the 1600 to a 4:21 in the 1600. And I remember being in this race and seeing 2 guys that I knew were incredible athletes that were just right there in front of me. And I found myself in 3rd place in this race, and there were 2 guys in front of me that were just incredible athletes. And I was like, man, I want to go after these guys. And
I just stuck with them, and it was like, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna show people what's possible for the state of Mississippi, because there wasn't, nobody had run that fast on an indoor track, I think, ever in Mississippi. And so it was kind of like, let me see if I can just dig as deep as I possibly can and go to those depths to show people what's truly possible, to fight for something that's bigger than just me. And that was those races. Whenever I think back to the successful factor in nearly every single race I've run, it's more so focused on what I can do for others, or what I can do with my own skill set to prove to others that something is possible. And I think that's the thing that separated Eliud Kipchoge from these other guys. The other guys were there to get what was theirs. He was there to push the perceived limitations of humanity and science, which was so much bigger than him. And he had the fitness, he had the belief in his own skill set, he had the belief in his fitness. Like, I'm not discounting any of that. It took years for him to get that. Years of hard work, lab tests, all these crazy things, but he also had that belief that no human was limited. And that, in and of itself, is so much bigger than just going out and running sub 2 in the marathon and being like, oh yeah, look at me, I ran sub 2. It was more so like, look at what the human race can do. Like, there's just so much that can be said about a belief in something that is bigger than yourself. And if you can truly believe in your training and believe in the work that you're putting in and believe that what you're doing is bigger than yourself, then that's where you're gonna make the big jumps. That's where you're actually gonna have that advancement. That's where you're gonna make those big leaps in your races and your training and everything. And that's something I'm learning right now. That's something I'm growing in, and I'm just trying to become the best that I can at belief. Like, belief is the biggest theme in this whole summer training block. It's like, let's see if we can have a really good year, and let's believe in what we're doing. Let's believe in the work we're doing. Let's believe in the efforts that we're putting in. But then above all, it's like, we have to believe that we're pushing something bigger than just ourselves. Like, we aren't here for just ourselves. We're here for our teammates. We're here to advance. We're here to fight for every single one of those guys that are on our team. We're here to fight for something that's bigger than us. We're here to fight for our family. We're here to do something that is bigger than just ourselves. And that, I think, is one of the biggest factors in being a successful athlete, especially in the endurance world. Like, there's so much doubt that happens, and you just have to train that doubt away. You have to train that belief over and over and over again. And it's a challenge sometimes, but whenever you can train it, whenever you can focus in on it, whenever you can hone in on what your mind is, whenever you can hone in on that belief, like, that's where you're gonna make big advances. So, yeah.
Alright, so the plan right now is to wake up tomorrow, go for a long run. Tomorrow's gonna be Saturday. We're gonna get probably 13 miles, this is what my goal is. My coach wants me to push it a little bit, so we're gonna go a little bit faster on the pace. I don't know exactly what that means. It could be some more 620s like we had the other day, or maybe it'll be a little bit faster. 620 was a good, like, challenging effort. It wasn't like super easy, but it wasn't I wasn't going to the well, I wasn't digging super deep in those later miles. I think it's probably just going to be a test of mental fortitude and just getting out there and getting a really strong aerobic stimulus in and seeing how long we can go for.
And everybody's got to run, and ain't nobody gonna hold you.
I think I'm ready to get this run underway. We got about a 30-minute drive. Apparently Tom Watson Park is kind of like closed today because there's like a big triathlon, else I would have just done a group run at Tom Watson.
That's good.
But
next week.
yeah, maybe we'll do that next week. But I invited some people just on social media. I made like a small graphic. I don't know if anybody's gonna show up. I mean, I'm in a city that's like not my home city, so it's kind of like I don't know if anybody's gonna even be here. There are a few people that showed some interest and seemed like they'd show up, so there he is, Mr. Tex himself.
I'm brand blending with some old Nike Pro, what are they? The Pro Elite half tights? It's like 2015.
I have no clue, that's crazy.
And then get a nice little Pro 3s.
Yeah. I'm just throwing on the old New Balance 1080s and we're gonna rip.
What's your name?
You well?
See if we can get a BPN run later on in the year. Yes, sir. Plug the product.
Yes, sir. BPN, best product here. Best product here. Heck yeah.
I have like some of the new mango ones and I haven't tried them yet. Much more like watery than I thought they'd be. Easy to down. You don't have to take that with any water. But
who just asked for water?
Yeah, that's the mango. The apple one is a little bit thicker, but like this one is very easy to down.
All right, so we're like 4.5, and we were grinding. We cut down the pace, and we've been running uphill. We got the heart rate up big time. Hills out here are brutal. We just made it to mile 5. I'm about to flip, go back. Get some weight on the group. Looks like they're moving pretty good. Downhill. 5:45 right now. Just cruising. Hit that downhill. After that little breather, got our heart rate down. Now it's time to roll. Just hit mile 7 at 5:46. Big downhill. So, happened pretty easily. So, hopefully we can just stay in the grind. It's tough. Just up that hill. Just to mile 9. 5:49. We're ripping right now. It's really good. Almost there. 5:54. How I feel?
A little groggy, but you going back out? Yeah, that's a good setup for a first time at altitude.
Yeah. How was it?
A little warm. The way back was a lot better though. I didn't realize we were running uphill the whole time. But
Yeah. That first 5 out was like
oh
brutal uphill.
I know, I was like, what was wrong?
I made it to the end, I was like, wait to 5, and I was like, holy cow.
Nice little 3-mile cool down. It's been a good run. Isaac wants to get to a half marathon.
That's the law.
He said that's the law?
Yep.
I don't know what law he abides by. 6:21 for 13.
There we go.
I'll take it.
What's up? Is it video on?
Yeah. Also
Hey, it was good. Hopefully I make the vlog.
Yeah.
First run out in altitude, so after Marley you won't see me, but it was good.
Isaac.
That felt good. Definitely hurting a bit the last couple of miles, but solid effort today.
Yeah.
It feels good to get some good training in again.
Good aerobic stimulus for sure.
Yeah.
That was a good run. 13.12. Isaac made me go to a half marathon. He said that's the sacred Cornell College way. I don't go to Cornell, so I shouldn't have listened. I guess you go one more, right?